Now, and for you to be able to master this Excel is a very simple tool. Actually, it guides you very easily. The only thing you would need is a lot of practice. So I would want us to start with something very small, which I would want to share my screen. Yes. Please let me know whether you are able to see my screen. Let me know whether you are able to see my screen. Great, thank you very much. Now, is there anybody who remembers a multiplication table in high school? Not high school, actually primary school. We used to have a multiplications table. Is there anybody who is able to remember how that thing, which used to be at the back of some books, were they called Kasuku books? Or most of you guys are so young. Yeah, it used to move like this. We used to have like 1, 2, 3, etc. You see, like now, the beautiful thing with Excel, once you have written like 1, 2, 3, Excel has already sensed the pattern that you would want to have. So if you would want to see how Excel is powerful, look at what I'll do. After I've written 1, 2, 3, of course, I know I'm going to the next number by skipping 1, 1, 1, 1. So what I need to do is to highlight. How do I highlight this? I'll simply use this big plus and of course move like that. So I've been able to highlight the 3 numbers. Once I highlight the 3 numbers, I would want in this case here the pattern there to be pasted, to be copied. So what I'll do, I'll come to right to the corner here, right? And then of course I hold on to my pad down, and then now I pull. You can see it is auto-filling. That multiplication table was going all the way up to number 9. So I release like that. I'm able to see the numbers having been okay. So first of all, could you kindly try to do that? Please, I would want us to really move in this together. So I would want to know whether there is anybody who has been able to use that shortcut to write numbers 1 up to 9 in the Excel worksheet. If you haven't been able to do it, I would gladly repeat. Yes, I would gladly repeat. Not yet. Yes, got it. Wamboi Marion, my friend, look at this. I'll come and skip column C. Go to B. So in B here, I would want to come and duplicate the same concept. So I'll write 1, go down, say 2 like that. And then I'll come and copy. Even two numbers alone, they're sufficient. I'll come and copy the 2. Not copying, but first of all, highlighting the 2 cells. Once I highlight the 2 cells, I'll come and use my auto-fill plus, the small plus there, right at the corner. And then I'll be able to hold on to my cursor down, straight away, I'll be able to auto-fill all the way up to 9. Remember, if you remember, the last number here used to be 81. I would want to hear whether, Marion, you have been able to do exactly that this time around. Please ensure that, well, within here, you've got what here? Space for the multiplications. So I'm trying to make my headers bold. So to make the headers bold, you guys, of course, you know this. You simply highlight and then you say Control B. Control B, B for bold. Control B, B for bold. So I would want to know whether there is somebody who has been able to do. I want to see whether there is anybody who has been able to do what I've done before I repeat for the likes of Mr. Kibet who have just joined us here. So somebody have to be very fast in talking. If you don't, you're not able to follow, simply tell me, Mwalimu, I'm not able to follow, like Kibet has told me. Right? If you are able to follow, you say yes. Why for yes? Why for yes? Why for yes? Why for yes? So Gilo Dido, my friend, says yes. How about the other students? Is there any other student who has been able to do exactly what I've done? Done it. Great. Those are only 2 students out of 76. Great comrades. Yes. Yeah. Now the yeses are coming. So then what now I need to do is to come very fast and repeat. Let me repeat exactly what I've done. So I would want to highlight the entire, if I want to delete everything in this sheet, the very best thing is to go up here. I hope you guys are able to see my cursor, where my cursor is. You go at that particular intersection and then you click just once, and then the entire table will be highlighted, and then you delete. You want to delete everything in the sheet. That is the easiest way. The easiest way. Great. So I'll come back here. So remember, it's number 1, number 2. I don't have, so what I need to do is, already there is a progression. There is what we call an arithmetic series. In high school, we used to call it arithmetic series. 1, 2, there is a common difference of 1, 1, 1, 1. So then what I need to do is to come and highlight the 2 cells. How do we highlight? To highlight the 2 cells is quite a simple thing. What you need to do is to go there to the first cell. When you are right at the first cell, you could use the shift key, the one with an arrow showing up. You simply press that shift, and then you navigate using the right side arrow. You know, there are those 4 arrows. Remember those 4 arrows? So the one pointing to the right. That is another easier way of highlighting. Once you highlight like that, the outer field, move your cursor until you go to this corner where you're able to see the bold, smaller plus with black inside, meaning it's an outer field. So once I have that, so I would want to drag this. And as I drag, I can see it's writing for me things down there, 5. I would want to drag it, go straight away up to number 9, like that. Come and repeat the same down here. Say 1, go down 2, come up 1 step back, say shift, down arrow this time around because I want to highlight downwards. I want to highlight downwards. Remember, an advanced Excel user should be able to avoid using the mouse 100%. An advanced Excel user should learn the shortcuts, but these shortcuts will be coming as we progress. But like now I've told you, the easiest way of highlighting is to use shift, and then you use the navigation keys. Use the navigation keys. Use the navigation keys. Great. Now, once I've highlighted, now even there is something showing me the outer field down here. You can see this mark here, telling me that should I come and place this thing down here, where I'm able to see a filled up plus and drag it down, then automatically I'll be able to get to 9 like that. Right? I would want this being like the outer column and the outer row. I would want this to be in bold. So to make them bold, I'll simply go like now there. I'll say shift. And then of course I'll be able to move. If I want to move 1, 1, 1, I'll be showing you a shortcut of even moving at once. But for now, I've been able to highlight my column there, my row titles, my row, that entire row 1 to 9. So I would want that entire row to be bold. So I'll come and say control bold, like that. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment I do that, now I would want to get inside here and do my multiplications. Yes. Now, how do I do my multiplications? What I would want to do, first of all, is to activate the cell. So please activate the cell, always use equals. You can use equals or plus, but I'm used to equals. To activate a cell so that you can accept an operation, always use equals there. So what do I want to do? I want to take this number 1, I multiply it. I hope you guys are able to see that multiplication, which is on top of 8. I multiply these with this one. And then I say enter. I'm able to see one there. I'm able to see one there. Please, could you kindly try to activate your very first cell there and do exactly what I've done? Try multiplying that one, and then you tell me done or not done. Advise. Aha. If I go this style of repeating Omondi, I really want to do it. But if I go repeating throughout, I think we shall have issues. We may not be able to finish. Because I'm recording this, I would prefer you just try to chip up, or rather to gather some dust from wherever we are. And then later on, you can watch the video. Unless you are lost like Kibet. Aha. So Ellie says done, Renee says done. Very few people are done. Very few people have been able to do. Aha, done. Sylvanus. I'm lost. Fred says he's lost. Victor says sawa. Done, done. Now, before I repeat, I'm lost. Before I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, if, for example, I wanted, Excel, I can't come, for example, and start with there, or rather go to each cell looking for multiplication. Like, I come to this one, I say equals, that take these three here, and then you say shift 8 to multiply, and then you come and take these three, and then you say enter. You see, you're getting 9. But you see in Excel, then you'll not be using Excel capabilities. Excel is about functionality. But once I've been able to copy a formula, I've been able to put down a formula, I should be able to apply it across breadth-wise and, of course, lengthwise. So like now I've used a formula here. If I take back my cursor there, I'm able to see the formula that I used. So then how do I leverage on this formula to be able to do the autofill? To be able to do the autofill. So to be able to do the autofill, what I'll do, look at this. Of course, this is wrong. Of course, this is wrong. But just look at what will happen. If I try to autofill, if I try to just drag this there like that, so I expect to get very good things. I know that this cell should be 2 times 1, which is 2. But now look at this cell. This cell is supposed to be 3 times 1. It's supposed to be 3. Then what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, has gone wrong? Where have I gone wrong here? I would want to take 1 minute to explain something here. I would want to take 1 minute to explain something here. If, for example, I've got, say, like 4 students here, I have, in this case here, Mr. Omondi. I have another student, for example, called Benny. I have another student, for example, called, who I can't see your names, I can't see your names, I can't see your names. For example, I have Njeri, right? Right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, with these students, perhaps they're working under me, and I happen to be having their current salaries. So their current salaries. So current salary of Omondi, for example, if Omondi knows a lot of Excel, we should be talking about 400,000. No. We should be talking of 400,000. We have, in this case here, Benny perhaps 450,000. 450,000. And then we have Njeri, for example, Njeri. Nowadays, we have so many women who are quite powerful, 500,000. And then now my immediate boss tells me, please, let's review their salaries. So if you look at these current salaries, you can see it is overflowing. It's going to 2 columns, like that. So what I need to do is to take my cursor slowly to the column. When I'm here, I'll go to this area. In between F and G. Once I'm there, what I need to do is to double click. A double click, you can see that cell has expanded to accommodate the entire current salaries, right, on that particular column. Now, I would want, in this case here, to come and give them new salaries. New salaries, right? And then my boss tells me, hey, you go ahead and give them an increase of 10%. Give them an increase of 10%. Now, look at what I'll do. How much is Omondi going to get? How much salary will Omondi earn after the increase, 10% increase? Can somebody tell me? After the 10% increase, how much will Omondi get? how much you'll only get after the 10% increase. How much? You don't have to use Excel. How much you'll only get after the 10% increase. Thank you very much. 440,000. Now remember, for me to be able to use Excel here, Excel functionality, I'll come and say equals first of all to make the cell active. So when I say equals, so I'll come and pick now 400,000 like that. I say times. If you remember that primary school formula, it is principal into 1 plus rate. So I'll talk of 1 plus the normal rate, so shift, plus the normal rate, which this person has told me to use, which is 10%, right? And then I'll be able to close the bracket. And then I say enter. When I say enter, what am I seeing there? I'm seeing 440,000. I'm seeing 440,000, which basically tallies with whatever you guys had advised me. It would have been 440,000. But I would want to use the functionality, the formula here. Now, in this case, you have to copy down everything. There's a shortcut of copying down everything. For now, I just want us to drag and see where this formula will be able to copy itself. Let me ask you a question. Veni, on getting the 10% increment, Veni, the new salary will be equal to what? On getting the 10% increment, Veni, on getting the 10% salary increment, Veni will earn how much? Somebody help me out. Help me out. And Excel, you must really be very interested. Yeah. So in this case, I'm being told 495,000. Thank you very much, Gesabo. Thank you very much, Dido. Thank you very much. Now, if I come here and try to drag, will I get, what am I getting there? What am I getting there? I'm getting 450 and 500,000. Then Excel has not assisted me. What do you think have we done wrongly, such that Excel is not able to copy that formula downwards? Where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong? Can somebody talk to us? Where do you think is the mistake here? Where do you think is the mistake here? We have to do the second one? No. I can see there is a student here. This student must have been a student of mine perhaps in the past. Highlight the column, then insert the formula. Copy the formula. So there is somebody saying here, we copy the formula. Let me try. So let me first of all, let me try what they're telling me. Let me first of all delete those two. So somebody is telling me, what if in this case you come and say control copy, and perhaps in this case here you control paste there. You control paste there. Look at what has happened. I've only been able to get 450,000. So what I've done is to control C and control V, control copy and control paste. So your advice hasn't really assisted me. Your advice has not assisted me at all. Eli Kimeli, use the $sign. Yes, look. They're telling me the very best thing you need to do is that you would expect, look at this. For me to have gotten this for 40,000, you can see I used this cell F6. This cell F6, it is here. And this cell F6, I would want this 10% to be used consistently as I move down. So I would want the 10% to be used consistently as I move down. And the only way of ensuring that we shall be able to use that 10% consistently moving down to be applied, I need to lock it up. I need to create a reference. So in this case here, what do I need to do? I need to go back to my formula here and lock F6. So how do we lock this F6? There are many ways of doing this lockup. Remember, to lock a cell, we normally use the strongest currency in the world. The strongest currency in the world is the $sign. The $sign is on top of number 7. The $sign is on top of not number 7. The $sign is on top of number 4. Number 4. The $sign is on top of number 4. So you can come and talk of shift. Dola itokezee mbele ya F. If you could useme hapa number 6, useme shift, dola itokezee, so useme shift 4. Dola itokezee namna hiyo. Ikitokezea hivyo, umejua umelock cell F6. It will never go anywhere. It will be applied in every subsequent cell. So come and say enter. When you say enter, it's like that. Now, when I drag this thing down, I will be able to get those answers that you guys were giving me. I'll be able to get those answers that you guys were giving me. Right? Right? Remember, I never bothered in this case yet to lock this F10 because F10, this F10, in the next cell, I'm not be using Omondi's salary. In the next cell, I will be using someone else's. So this F10 has to be left to be flexible. The one that I have to lock is the one that is not supposed to be moving. The one that will be used consistently downwards as we progress like that. Great. Great. So I would want to know whether there is anybody. You must do exactly what I'm doing. You must strive to do exactly what I'm doing so that you can be able to make your notes very well. And the thing that I would want you to appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, whenever it comes to these cells here, like now this one here, we have that dollar. Please allow me to remove it. This dollar. The easiest way of locking up your cells like this F6, once you have that cursor blinking, that cursor dancing after 6, and you would want to lock F6, the very best way, there is a button there called F4. F4 is the one we use for absolute referencing. F4. We use F4 for absolute referencing. Once you have that cursor there blinking in front of 6, you press F4 once, it gives you the $2. Brings a dollar before F, brings a dollar before 6, like that. Sharon lost. Dennis lost. Have you gone too far? We have just begun. And the students are really, really getting lost, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. How many are lost? Let me see. How many are lost? Lost. Okay. Do you have laptops? Let me begin by asking that question. Do you have laptops? Do you have laptops? Do you have laptops? Do you have laptops? Okay. So, okay. So then what we do, first of all, go ahead and copy these salaries. Go ahead and copy these salaries. Go ahead and copy these salaries. Go ahead and copy these employees' names and their current salaries and their current salaries and their current salaries. So Omondi currently is earning 400,000. Then he's earning 450,000. Jerry is earning 500,000. 500,000. And your boss has told you to give these 3 employees an increase of 10%. An increase of 10%. Then I would want to use the formula. I would want to use the formula. Now I would want to use the formula. Okay. Actually, the best, Fred, is for me to stop sharing. If I stop sharing, you'll be able to get a practicing area very well. So I would want to know whether you guys have been able to write the current salaries of these employees, and have you been able to put the 10% there and try to use your formula to give me Omondi's new salary. Try to use your formula to give me Omondi's new salary. Which formula? The formula which says amount equals principal into 1 plus R plus the rate of increase. Do you remember that formula? Don't even raise because you are getting at the end of year 1. Amount equals principal into 1 plus the rate of increase. So remember to use the formula. Now come and put the cursor there, and then you say equals. When you say equals, now I want to pick the principal. What was the original amount being earned by Omondi? 400,000. You pick it like that. You say times. So shift times is on top of 8. So you have to say times. Times what? Open my brackets here for the 1 plus R. So 1 plus, I hope you're able to see where the plus is. Plus normally is a twin sister of equals. Plus the rate of increase, I hope you guys have been able to put it up there. Right? Rate of increase, I've been able to put it up there. And then now you come and they say close bracket, you close bracket, and then of course you say enter. So I would want to know whether you guys have been able to follow that to get the 450,000. I can see Winnie has raised her hand. I can see Winnie has raised her hand. So have you been able to follow up to there? Eunice has also raised her hand. I don't know whether I could unmute you so that we can have a discussion. Kibet has followed now. Renice has followed now. Great. Mine has also followed. Great. Great. Please, everybody, ensure that we have been able to do exactly that. It's quite a simple thing. Ensure you've been able to do exactly that. It's quite a simple thing. And then the formula part. The formula is your normal formula where we talk over the end of year salary will be beginning of year into 1 plus R. 1 plus, there are 2 ways of getting about that. Either you take 10%, come on a laptop. It means I'll have to share this video with you, and then now later on you'll be able to practice. Actually, all of us, we can only become good at this if later on you can get like this video and you practice. You practice. Yes. No one is getting, in this case here, an error. An error. Perhaps you never used your brackets very well. Right? You never used your brackets very well. Okay. Yes. Now let's progress then. So if I go back to sharing here, you see now I would want to duplicate this formula down. I can only duplicate this formula down nicely if I'm cognizant of the fact that this 10% is a figure that will be duplicated throughout downwards. The 10% is a figure that will be duplicated downwards throughout. I would want to apply the 10% in Penny. I would want to apply the 10% in Njeri's salary. So this 10% has to be locked up. How do we lock it? So to lock it, first of all, you must know which cell is this. How do we define a cell? It's by the column row number. You can see this is column F, row 6. So it's F6. So please look for F6 is here in my formula bar. F6 is here in my formula bar. Go and put a cursor. The cursor should start dancing after number 6. You can see now it is in red, and my cursor is dancing after number 6. And then what do I do? There is a button there called F4 at the topmost. If you're using a laptop, at the topmost, you'll be able to see F4. So you press F4 only once, and then you'll be able to see a lockup coming in the form of what here? The dollars. And once you have locked up like that, you simply come and tell us enter. So once you have entered, now you can use the drag capability. The dragging capability is here. Now you drag this down like that. Now your formula is now good to go. It's good to go. Right? And then now remember that after some time, you'll get this HR comes and tells you, no, even this person has been transferred to your department. So if they've been transferred to my department, normally what I'll do, I'll simply extend this downwards a little bit, like that. Right? Right? So when they come and tell me, for example, there is a student, or rather not a student, but an employee, they've given me called Ali. Ali, the only thing I need to know is what is their current salary. So for example, Ali could be 470,000. 470,000. So once I say 470,000, this thing will keep on giving me the correct answers like that. Because now already I have been able to automate my new salaries Excel worksheet, right? So if they come and give me another one, for example, you're called Winnie. So what I want to know is the salary of Winnie. So they'll come and tell me that Winnie is the one who gets, in this case here, the highest amount. Simply put, that gives me the answer automatically, like that. So the most important thing here is to know how to lock, So have you known how to lock? Have you been able to do this exercise yourselves? Have you been able to do this exercise yourselves? Yes. One more time on locking. It's like most of you guys came late. Repeat how to lock. Can't lock. Yes, at times you get a machine which can't lock with a 4. So if you can't lock with a 4, you simply put, Mondi's column. No, you must, that is a very big number more than a billion. You must have put in a very big number, can do it. Now, a good question that I'll be able to answer there, if you look at this dollar, so that dollar, this dollar, there are some laptops which you can't use the F4 to relock. So how do you do it manually. So you say shift, you say dollar like that. And then you come and put again another shift, you say dollar before 6, like that, and then you enter. So you have to do it manually. Do it manually like that. Lost. Don't worry. We shall be able, don't worry, we shall be able to really get what the gist of this in a minute. Great. So please allow me to move to the next concept for me to be able to at least do something, yeah? And then I'll be able to repeat, right? I will be able to repeat. Now, come here. So please try to draw this table again. Let's go back. Try to draw this table again. Okay, so what we are doing here, I would want a situation where a student is able to draw this multiplication table. The multiplication table, it's good to remind ourselves these things. The multiplication table we encountered in primary schools behind some exercise books, Kasuku books. There is a multiplication table we used to have. So I'd want someone to copy exactly whatever I have here, whatever I have there. I've only said Control B. Yeah, Control B to bolden them. So I have 1 to 9 there. I have 1 to 9 there. Is there somebody who has been able to do something like this in a different Excel worksheet? Is there somebody? Fred, there is nothing really to be lost here. You guys have courage. You see what we are doing here? Just go to Excel and copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haitaki uoga up to 9. Tena kuja hapa chini copy 1 up to where? Up to 9. There is nothing really to get lost there. There's nothing to get lost there. Haitaki uoga. Hivyo tu. Alafu ukisha copy hivyo, kuja hapa katikati nataka tuweke multiplication. So how do we put multiplication in between? I would want to multiply 1 and 1. Of course, you can see at the intersection here, we have this 1 and this 1 intersecting, or rather making up this cell here. So first of all, for me to be able to activate the cell, I have to say equals. So when I say equals, come and pick that one there. right? Which I would want to multiply with 1. So I'll say 1 times 1, 1 times 1, like that, and then I say equals. So I would want to see whether there is anybody who has been able to do exactly what I've done. You simply say Y for yes. You simply say Y for yes. Bila kuogopa chochote, haitaki uogope sana. Bila kuogopa chochote. Bila kuogopa chochote. Hata ukikosea, so what? That is Excel. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other thing that I would want us to do here is to come and drag now the formula. Let's drag the formula. Let's drag the formula. How do we drag this formula? There are many ways, but the very best is to use the autofill, right? So if I drag this formula, for example, even downwards like that, right? What am I getting there? Are those really multiples? Are they really multiplications there? If you know, like the last one is supposed to be 9 times 1. It's supposed to be 9 times 1. The last one here should be 9. The last one there should be 9. The last one there should be 9. The students who are raising up their hands. Okay, by my shared screen. Okay, sorry. So could you kindly then, I've given you like a minute, try to do exactly that. Make that table 1 to 9, 1 to 9. 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9. And without you knowing how to lock up cells, then we'll have problems. Very good. Ellie at least has seen something there, right? For you to be able to understand this concept of how to make use of a SUMIF function to do your income statements and whatever, you must be very good in locking up. You must be very good in knowing which figures will be repetitive here. Which figures will be repetitive here. The figures that are repetitive must always be locked. Must always be locked. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So here there is a problem. My worst problem here that has happened is that I never locked. You see, like when I move down, or rather look at it this way, you know this column B is an outer column. And if it's an outer column and outer rows must always be locked. So like now here, I must lock outer row B, outer column B, and I must lock outer row 6 here. It's an outer row with titles. So then you have to look for where B is in your formula. Where is B in your formula? Here you can't use F4 because you don't want to lock B under 7. Here we'd want only to lock B. So in this case, at lock B, I'll come and put the cursor there, and then I say shift, I lock that B. And then remember, you've just told me to come and lock what here? To come and lock 6. It's an outer row. It's an outer row. So look for where 6 is. It is here. Just not C. 6. So I have to put my cursor in between C and 6. And then I say shift $, right? And then I'll be able to do what here? To say enter. Right? So once I say enter, you can see now when I go back to this one and try to scroll, if I autofill downwards, then everything will be okay. You can see now here, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1. And if you try pushing this thing right across all the way to the last one here, right across all the way to the last one, you'll be able to see that thing you used to see in high school, 81, in primary school, 81 to the end, 81 to the end. And this forms the basis of our Excel. The moment you know how to come up with a multiplication table, then automatically you will have understood quite a big chunk of Excel for accountants. That's where we begin from. So let me stop sharing there. Stop sharing. Repeat how to lock. That I'll be able to do. But before I repeat, can you kindly try yourself a little bit? Can you try yourself a little bit? Try yourself a little bit. Excel pia haitaki uoga sana. Inataka ile unaweka hata ukikosea so what. Inataka a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence. Na pia vile unauliza swali ni sawa, lakini kwanza kabla hata kuuliza, wewe jaribu potea. Hata ukipotea so what. Is there somebody who is trying, or all of you have taken the approach ya Winnie kusema how do we try without understanding? Yeah. Tried and done it. Repeat the locking part, please. I'll repeat, but before I repeat, I'm trying to balance two groups. There is a group saying that Mwalimu, if you share your screen there, will not be able to do anything. Brand says done. Mine is one, very good. That's what I like, because Nathan, you shared using F4. You put $2. Abdallah says understood. Victor Chonjo. Okay. Done or good to done. Just try. You'll be surprised. Even you win it, try. You'll be surprised when you get it. So Malin done. So now the mind is one. Thank you very much. I'm stuck hapo kwa locking. Iko sawa kabisa. Thank you very much. Sasa wacha nijaribu mara moja. Maybe in my professional career, if there is anybody who assisted me, is a person who told me that Excel is the most powerful tool for any accountant. I'm able to change jobs like that day I told you, this big firm. I'm not to mention its name. They are doing headhunting. And the person they are looking for is this man from Maragua, this man himself, not because he's very bright, but because he knows how to use Excel. Excel is a game changer. It's a game changer. The moment you understand Excel very well, I'm telling you, you will go places. Unfortunately, the Excel that you need to understand as an accountant is quite basic. You'll be surprised. The moment you understand this, like what I'll teach you between today and Friday, and then when we get time, we'll be able to get time, for example, in the course of the year. I also take like 4 days to teach you the Power Query. It's what we call the Power Query, right? Power BI for purpose of presenting, making graphicals, which are very nice for purpose of presenting. For example, you have to present like your annual reports to shareholders. How do you present them? How do you draw the earnings per share? Last year it was 10, this is 12. I mean, how do you draw those things using the Power BI? You guys will go places. You'll come to thank me. So let me delete this very fast. So I hope everybody, you guys have the titles. You have the titles there. So now here we are. So I'll come and of course start with equals. Start with equals. And the moment you're able to place that equals there nicely, then you are a good Excel user. You're not badly off. So what do I want? I want to multiply this one and this one. So I'll come and push this, and then I say times this. So it's 1 times 1. I say enter. Now listen and listen to me, especially for the ones who are getting ones all through. I'll take back my cursor to this value that I've gotten, the outcome. And then remember the concept of the outer. This outer column B. Outer column B will be a reference. It's a reference. So B has to be dollar referenced. Dollar is the strongest currency. So you'll come under in your formula bar, look for B there. You say shift 4, like that. The dollar comes before B alone. Please, if you put the dollar before B and before 7, you'll end up getting 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 throughout. Here it's column B alone to be referenced. And then in terms of this row, I can see row 6. You're able to see in my case. Of course, in your case, not row 6, I know that. In your case, it's a different figure. So in my case here, we have row 6, row 6, row 6. Row 6 in this case here is what here is a title. It's a permanent thing. It's a permanent feature in this table. So then 6, wherever 6 is, simply go there and put what there? Put $1. You put $1 like that. And then you say, now enter. So now this thing is fully locked up. Now I can move with it the way I want. I can come and go this way first, right? Then move down slowly like that. like that, 81. So let me now stop sharing to see whether we can get some students now will be able to dance. Done. Ilikuwa anasema mimi ni vile sina comp, ningekuwa na comp kitu ningenyorosha. And then Excel, what Excel needs, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to be very happy. You must know how to celebrate your milestones. Whenever you know, in this case here, something however small, you must stand up wherever you are and even dance a little bit. You must know how to celebrate your small milestones. If there is an emoji, that emoticon, which has got dancing or laughing like that, please know how to celebrate your milestones. The moment you know how to celebrate your milestones, then you'll be able to have these things sticking in you. You'll remember one day I danced because I knew how to place the dollar signs. Great. Now there is something that you guys haven't yet understood, which I would want you to understand. My net is letting me down. We shall overcome. Please try to embrace Safaricom's internet is very good, it's very stable. And nowadays they have the home fiber. I think it's quite cheap. It's about 2,000 shillings. About 2,000 shillings. You have a very stable. Don't use this like Airtel. They're not very good. You can start on that table. Fred, you'll have to watch now the video. Please allow me to show you something different. Otherwise, hooray, yes. Fred, what's wrong with that table? Going there and writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9. Fred, I'm no longer sharing my screen. I go take a matter because I'm giving you the video immediately after this. I'm sorry you take a matter because sawa, sasa done. Sasa now today's agenda, and please you'll have to allow me to extend a little bit. You'll have to allow me to extend this class a little bit because I must show you something that is very, I've done it at last. Something that is very important. There is, but how do you know where to put the dollar sign? Okay, that is very important. Let me try answering that. You see, like now in my table, this B is a column which is going to be used throughout. Every other column here, like column C, getting answers of column C, getting answers of column D, it has to be looking back to B. So B is a pillar. So if it's a pillar, B is a pillar, then B has to be dollar referenced. The same case here with 6. Row 6 is also a pillar. All the other rows have to be looking back at row 6. So row 6 has to be dollar referenced. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to shift gears. And the gear that I would want to shift to immediately, is here. Now, there is a table that we sent to you. Do you remember that table? Yes, on your email, not emails, but WhatsApp, which you guys are supposed to download. Yes, called 𝐓𝐿ookup, 𝐷Lookup. Do you remember that table on your WhatsApp? Have you been able to put it on your machine? Have you been able to put it on your machine? Very important table, which is on your WhatsApp. Yes, yes. This 𝐷Lookup, 𝐓𝐿ookup has messed very many students of accounts. Every time they go to interviews, they are normally asked questions on 𝐷Lookup, 𝐓𝐿ookup, pivot table. Very many times I've seen students being asked those questions. Pivot table, like that. Now, if you're able to understand today how to look for data and stuff within an Excel worksheet using 𝐷Lookup, then please ensure that you've done so well and ensure that you get a present from me. You get a present from me. And this one, I would want after you guys, of course, do your own dances, wherever you are, please ask for permission to share your screen with us and get to teach us. And then we shall be able to give you 500 shillings. So you have to be very keen as I teach this, because it is 500, there is dancing on the other side. 500 and dancing. In Excel, you must know how to celebrate wins. Whenever we win, you must celebrate small milestones here and there. Very important. How I wish you could get to see how I celebrate whenever I come up with something very good. Like now I'm doing what we call Python. Python is the next one after what we call macros. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Now here I am. So please don't concentrate with doing, concentrate with looking what I'm doing. So now here, I want to start with VLOOKUP. Now here, I've been given teams. These teams here are arranged in columnar form, a column. Hence the meaning of vertical lookup. So I'm looking for a particular team, which happens to be part of a column, part of a column. Now, let me see a comment here. Brian is yet to get the table. Brian, please rely on the video which I'll send to you. In case you'll not be able to follow the video, now you can book a different session with me. Because if I start going back there, Brian, I'll then not be able to do the VLOOKUP, which is part of the agenda. It's a 4-lesson program. So I've got my agenda, which I also have to ensure that I push through. But at the end of the day, I'm also giving you the videos to help you. In case you're not able to get the concept from the videos, now you can organize, for example, a lunch hour. Say we 5 students who are not able to understand this, please create like 1 hour lunch hour, take us through this. Otherwise, allow me to take you through this. And now forget about the table. Don't even put your mind there. Now the biggest thing that we have on the ground is called VLOOKUP. And the thing that Mwalimu has just said here is that VLOOKUP is used whenever you are wanted to look for information which is part of a particular column. This is a column, column ya nyumba, inasimama kwa chini namna hiyo. Sasa umeenda kwa interview. Na katika interview, you get in this case here somebody giving you like data, one Excel worksheet that has got say 5,000 rows, 5,000 rows, information. Blankets, this could be a big, for example, uniforms distributors, blankets, towels, etc. So many things coming in different sizes, coming in different qualities from different manufacturers. So it gives you like up to 5,000 rows. And then they tell you, could you kindly look for this particular attire of this size from this manufacturer? That is how I get really to sympathize with so many CPA students. So many CPA guys who are coming for this kind of an interview, because they'll start now looking for that particular item, scroll. Oh yeah, wana scroll kwenda chini, anaangalia mpaka anafika 30 minutes, 40 minutes, analalia mashini ya interviewer, anamwambia sioni. Sababu mwanafunzi hajui power ya Excel, hajui the concept of looking up for data. And of course, the very best models of looking up for data is a VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. Then we have the index and match. And if you happen to be having the Office 365, don't know whether you guys have got Office 365, we have what we call XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP, that is quite advanced. But for now, you need to understand the VLOOKUP. The moment you understand the VLOOKUP very well, this Mwalimu will be very happy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. So mimi nimeenda kwa interview. Nikienda kwa interview, assuming hizi teams ni teams mingi sana, 5,000, maybe the teams ambazo zinaangalia countries, some preliminary, whatever, 5,000 of them, right? And then, ladies and gentlemen, right? Ladies and gentlemen, somebody comes and tells me, hey, out of these teams, look for Lazio. Yeah, I'm lucky I'm able to see Lazio very fast because the teams are very few. But trust you me, if there were 5,000 teams, you wouldn't have been able to locate it very well. So then if I want to look up for Lazio, what I'll do, I'll come by the side here, have the column titles given here, being duplicated. I simply highlight everything here, copy paste on the other side. And then I'll type the name of the team they have told me to look for. And then now this is what I will do. I'll come, in this case, of course, I would want to know Lazio comes from which country. Lazio comes from which country. So I'll come and say equals. So when I say equals, I've known that because it's a columnar information that I would want to look for, I want to use VLOOKUP function. So when I say equals, I'll start typing VLOOKUP. When I start saying VL, I can see the VLOOKUP as column in blue, in blue, in blue, in blue. So it has come up in blue format. And once it comes up in that blue format, blue label, for those of you who take whiskey, I don't know whether there is anybody who takes whiskey here. Anytime you see a blue label means very nice, very strong. You tab. So you look for this button which is on top of caps lock, you tab once. You tab once, everything goes up there. So I'll repeat twice, but first of all, the first one, I would want you not to do anything, just look what I'm doing, right? So you don't have to continue typing VLOOKUP, no, VL, the VLOOKUP has been displayed up there. So I'll simply go, and whenever I see the blue thing, I'll always tab like that. Tab, ladies and gentlemen, tab function, ile kitu kwa caps lock, juu hiyo kwa mishale mbili. Hiyo kwa mishale mbili. Mishale moja inaenda hivi, nyingine inaenda hivi. Unaiona kweli? Unaiona kweli? Mishale mbili, moja inaenda hivi, nyingine inaenda hivi. Mbele ya caps lock, juu ya caps lock, I mean. Your caps lock, is anybody who is able to see that caps lock on top of it? Is in your tab function. Very important. Because I find anything in Excel, nikiona imetokezea blue, mimi na tab too. Kama your whiskey, a tab. Like you don't use that example of whiskey. Whiskey is very bad. It has destroyed very many families. Very many families. Don't. Great. Now here we are. This is very interesting. As an accountant, I have to now look at this. Now my VLOOKUP has been displayed, and you can see inside here they have given me what to pick. Like the first thing that they want me to pick is the lookup value. Look at what item are you looking up for? I'm looking up for a team called Lazio. So I'll come and say Lazio, right? And then now there is something that I would want you to understand from the word go, that this H is an outer column. This H, I'm going to put so many teams here. The H is an outer column, and if it's an outer column, then I have to lock it up. Not lock everything of H and 4. It's only H that I would want to lock up. So I need to come back and put my cursor just before H. So I can see a cursor dancing before H. It's also dancing because Excel is very beautiful. Excel is very beautiful. So it's dancing before H. So shift, you say dollar like that. And then I'll come and there, again, take my cursor after 4 to continue with my journey. So, and then you can see after the lookup value, they want me to come and say comma. The first one I told you is just a quick brush through for us to see what is expected of us. And then I'll be able to give you a chance of working this out. Now look at the next thing, table array. Which is this table that you would want to get this information from? I'll come and pick this entire table. I'll pick the entire table like that. So table array. Listen, table array is that particular table where I will be expected, ladies and gentlemen, to look for my info. So I copy the whole of it, and all table arrays must be fully locked up. Tables are not supposed to be dancing at all. Table arrays must be fully locked up using F4. So you press F4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after table array, they're telling me comma here. After table array, they're telling me comma. The next thing they're asking me to do before I repeat is the column index. They're asking me, now you want to get the country of Lazio. This country is which column number here? We have team, then we have country. So this is column number 2. So I'll simply come and tell them column number 2. After column index, you'll come and say comma. Before I say comma, you can see the next thing that is following up has brackets. Is in brackets, range lookup. Anything that is in brackets in Excel means that that thing is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. So in this case here, after I say comma, you can see what this thing that are the range lookup asking me. Is this an approximate match or an exact match? Approximate match, it's asking you if, for example, the information of Lazio you're looking for is not available. Can we approximate? Can we give you something that is quite close? Yani, hata kama ulikuwa unatafuta sungura na umekosa sungura, tunaweza tukukuletea paka because paka inafanana sungura kiasi, tukisema ni paka. Katika finance tunatakanga exact matches. Finance hatutaki approximations. Tunataka exact matches. So katika finance watu tunasema false. Katika finance watu tunasema false. Unakuja una pick your false. But the very best, because this range was in brackets, you don't even put up anything. That is an irrelevant thing. So what you're supposed to do is simply to come and close this and say shift, you close bracket. You don't even have to answer whether it's an exact match or not. It was in brackets. Anything that is in brackets there, we leave it out like that. We close our brackets like that. Meaning straight away that, ladies and gentlemen, we are through with our functionality. Now I can come and say what here, enter. And you can see now it is telling me Lazio is an Italian company. Please don't write anything. Don't try in this case here to do any exercise until I finish. And then I repeat. When I repeat, we shall do it together with you. For now, I want you to see the capability. I want you to appreciate what this VLOOKUP is able to do. Now, then I would want to copy this formula throughout. So then to copy it throughout, I'll come and autofill using this small plus autofill like that. When I autofill like that, what am I seeing? I'm seeing an embarrassing thing. I'm seeing it telling me that Lazio, Champions League, Italy, everything Italy, and I know where the problem is. When I look at this Italy, remember when I look at the first Italy, I came and picked the column and I say this is column 2. But you see now the next one, subsequent one, the column has changed. This is supposed to be column 3. So when I press my cursor to this Italy, which happens to be on the 3rd column here, I'm supposed to come and change this in the formula bar. In the formula bar, this column index is the 1. I'm supposed to come and just take back it a little bit and delete it and say 3. And then I say enter. So when I say enter, it is telling me that Lazio never played Champions League. Look at this, Lazio, no, Champions League. Come to the next Italy, this Italy is fake. Come and say now column 4 there. You have just replaced that one 3, now you say it's 4. So now it's telling me that Lazio in the entire game, Lazio played how many games? 38 games. So come here, Italy in this case here, this is fake. So this is the fifth column. So now I need to come and simply say what there, 5. And then I say enter. You can see it is telling me that Lazio at the end of the day garnered 56 points. Lazio garnered how many points? 56 points. I know you have not understood the thing, but now listen here. Now, this is why I love Excel. Now with this, I can come and highlight, I can come and highlight everything there. Should have just highlighted. I can go ahead and highlight everything there. And then now I should be able to pull this down even to like 5 rows. Down like that. Somebody may even think, I mean, why am I getting those errors? Not a problem. So now I'll now be challenging these guys. Which other team would you want me to give information for? They'll tell me, for example, we guys are Arsenal fans. So if they are Arsenal fans, I'll simply come and type Arsenal there, and then I say enter. Look at what has happened. It's telling me that Arsenal is an English team. Yes, it played Champions League. You can see here Arsenal, yes, it played Champions League, right? Games, 38, right? How many points? 79. So another guy may jump from nowhere asking you, what about Gor Mahia? So Gor Mahia. So when I say enter there, I'm getting errors throughout. So I'll be able to tell those guys that, you know what? Gor Mahia is not part of, we don't have any team called Gor Mahia. Great. How about Fiorentina? So Fiorentina, when I say enter there, you can see Fiorentina, Italy. We have a Champions League, no. Games played, 38. Points, 65. So now I've been able to automate my Excel worksheet in a way that wherever I pick, so long as it is here, it shall be able to return the correct what here information about that. If they tell me Liverpool, right? I'll come and say simply write Liverpool there. You can be able to see it's now populating this thing so nicely. So I know you have seen a lot of dust and I would want to delete everything here so that we can now do this together. Great. The first round, I just wanted you to appreciate the functionality, see the capability of Excel. Yes, I like this. What if you use 0? That will work very well. That will work very well. Using 0 instead of just leaving it, using 0 instead of leaving it like that. Great, 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 great. So I don't know how you would want us to go about this. Would you want me to repeat it once again without you again using your machines? Or we do it slowly together? How do I connect to VLOOKUP? Good question. You know, it's there in your Excel. So what you need to do is to simply say equals VLOOKUP. So slowly. Okay. So then let's do it slowly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So slowly, then we are here. So then allow me to delete everything here. Allow me to delete everything there. Not the proper way of deleting, you know. Great. Now, thanks. So what I would want us to do, because I sent you the one of VLOOKUP, you know, it's HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. You click on VLOOKUP, you go to VLOOKUP. So I would want everybody to start by saying equals, and then you say VL, you'll be able to see VLOOKUP function coming. You tab. When you tab like that, please confirm that you have been able to see VLOOKUP jumping up there. That is the first step. 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 Once Yusufu says yes, ensure that your VLOOKUP is up there. Yes. Ensure that your VLOOKUP is up there. I can't see many of them saying yes. 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 Yes. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. The next step after that thing has come there, then you are in the right position. Look at this. Look at my formula. The next thing now it is asking me to give it the lookup value. So lookup value, please press on the one that you are looking for. I'm looking for Lazio. And once you press that, you can remember in my case here, H is an external column. So I'd want you to come and put your cursor before H, and then you introduce the dollar sign. That is the second step, which I would want to hear whether there is anybody who has been able to reach there. You've been able to reach there? Yes. Like Eric is saying yes. So you pick the item you're looking for and then ensure that you are able to place a dollar before H. Yes. Great. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, once you do that, look at what we are doing. Please take the cursor after H, after 4. And you can see these guys are telling you after the lookup value, put a comma. And after you put a comma, you can see the next thing they want you to do is to now put up the entire table in dollar signs. So the table array, so in this case here, first of all, highlight the entire table, this table here. So this table here, you highlight the entire. Simply know how to highlight the whole of it like that. And then remember that table arrays must always be fully locked by pressing F4 and then comma. Ensure that you are able to reach there and give us a Y. And if you give us a Y, you are able to reach there, then straight away, you are a pretty good student, And if you're not able to reach there, I'll be able to repeat. So I'm waiting for the yeses are not coming in, they're trickling in very slowly, stuck on, then I'll be able to repeat. I'll be able to repeat something there, I'll be able to repeat something there, I'll be able to repeat something. How about the other students? Good to say yes. F4 cannot lock the table. Now, if it can't lock the table, please use the dollars before each. use the dollars before each. You put the dollars manually. Put the dollar sign 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 manually. Where do I get lookup in Excel? No problem. Oh, like John Kamau is giving us a very good secret that John Kamau is using both a phone and what here and a laptop at the same time. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the table to my Gmail. Somebody should be able to assist. Somebody should be able to assist sending that table to the gentleman's Gmail account. Some Good Samaritan. Do we have Good Samaritans nowadays, really? Now, I'm being asked here, how do I get this VLOOKUP in Excel? It is there, well built inside there. If you come to any cell, like now, I can't, I have to finish this. I have to finish this. Now, look at this. We have been able to finish the table array. I've been able to say comma. The next thing is the column index, the country. You're looking for the country. So country is column number 2. You simply say column number 2, you say comma. And then now here, you go to, we are looking for the false match. For false, because we always want what we call exact match. So as somebody told us, it's either you put a 0 there to show exact match, or you simply know that for approximate match and exact match, leave everything like that, you close brackets. That is the easiest way. And then you say enter. That is the last milestone. I would want to know whether there is any student who has been able to do that and has seen Italy coming out without fearing. Is there anybody who has been able to do that and get Italy? Get Italy. Get Italy. Got it. Yes. Nilikuwa nimekuambia kibet. Mara ya kwanza ilikuwa uoga ilikuwa mingi sana. Excel inataka namna hiyo. Got it tena. Done. How comes you don't have those emoticons, those emojis of dancing and the flowers and smiling faces? How comes they're not here? Others clapping that I've gotten this thing right, because we have to celebrate. That's a big milestone. Isaac Jare, Batima Besema lost. I'll be able to repeat. How many of us are lost? How many of us are lost? Yes, Victor, that is it. That has made me very happy. Yeah, but that's the emoticon I was talking about. Yes, yes. Nicholas lost. Winnie, admin lost. What is the column index? I got Germany. Andrew, great. Andrew is not very far away. Ali says lost. With videos, it could be excellent. Yes. Good. Okay. I'm gonna make a coffee. Especially the last part. SK America PE. Yes. Now, let me repeat a little bit here. Yes, let me repeat a little bit here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very easy thing. Kuna mwanafunzi amesema yeye amepotea hapo kwa column. Na column ndio hii hapa. Ni column. Country ni column number 2. Country number 2. Column number 2, I mean, like that. Now, let me delete everything and then we start fresh there. Now, so that is it. So I'm starting again. So I want to look up for Lazio. Mwanafunzi anauliza atapata VLOOKUP wapi? Ukisema equals, useme tu VL. Utaona lookup inakuja ikiwa blue. You simply say tab. I hope you're able to see where the tab is. I hope you're able to see where the tab is. Lookup value, this is the item that you're looking up for. Lazio. Nasema Lazio. And then even before I proceed, when I tap on this Lazio like that, I'm able to remember that H is an external column. H. So I should be able to come and put my cursor before H. So in this case here, dollar like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I continue with the journey. I'll come and take my cursor after 4. You put a comma there. And then the table array is the easiest. Get to the table, the primary table, and highlight everything there. And remember, once you highlight everything in the primary original table, this one has to be dollar referenced fully. Either use F4, or if you don't have that F4 functionality, you can come and put the dollar before B manually too. Pole pole 𝐓𝐮𝐢𝐭𝐤. Nasema hapo 𝐓𝐮𝐢𝐭𝐤. Unakuja unaweka tena hapa 𝐓𝐮𝐢𝐭𝐤. Unaweka namna hii because it's everything. For the ones that are in red, utalani kitu mimi kuja kulani. Ukiona na red, lazima ujue kutakuwa na mambo ya referencing hapo. Unaweka 𝐓𝐮𝐢𝐭𝐤 namna hiyo. Alafu safari inaendelea, safari kuna mambo namna hiyo. After table array unakwambia comma. Next is the column. Column country. It is the country you want. So this country is column number 2. Next I'll say comma, and then it is asking me about these things of true and false in brackets like that. So basically give it brackets. Don't put anything. Don't even put a 0 there. Just brackets like that, and then say enter like that. And then after that, ladies and gentlemen, now there is a beautiful thing of dragging your formula to the other cells across. It's giving me Italy, but I'm not scared because I know it's duplicating this Italy. When I come here, you know, this is supposed to be third column, champions, 1, 2, 3. So I'm supposed to come to the formula here, and then I put, of course, I delete 2, I put 3, say enter. I come to games played here, games played. So this is supposed to be 4. I'll come in the formula and show that I delete 2, I put 4 there, enter. Go to points there. So points there, come and this is column number 5, like that. Now, if there is any dancing that I want to see today, is after you get those things. After you get those things, the way I've gotten them. After you get those things, the way I've gotten them. After you get those things, the way I've gotten them. After you get those things, the way I've gotten them. After you get those things, the way I've gotten them. Is there anybody who has been able to get, it's a milestone. Should you refer to the columns in the table? Or, okay, good. You know, the new table columns and the old table columns are the same because you normally duplicate the columns. It's a good question. Done all of the teams. Who is this saying a very good thing without dancing, really? Who is this saying a very good thing without dancing? Without dancing. I've lost the name. I've lost the name. I can't get that. Hooray. A duplicate of Italy. I'll be able to repeat there. Now, yes, yes, yes. Problem is that I'm only working with 20 students, which is very, very poor turn up for me. Very poor. Very poor. If I count the S's there, are very, or even the no's, the lost, those numbers are very few. Meaning that the bigger majority is silent, but really having postponed thinking. Having postponed thinking. When you postpone thinking, what does it mean? Well, I'm not abusing you. When you postpone thinking is when you say that I'll be able to follow when I get a video. We are together. Thank you. We are together. Thank you very much. Now, great. Thank you very much, Naomi. Good. Now, please do me a favor. Before I repeat, for the sake of the student who has just gotten Germany, I would want you to highlight this thing, the entire. Not the entire row, but from Italy. From Italy. You highlight up to 56. And then please Now copy the formula down. You copy the formula down. You're able to see not applicable, not applicable. So you'll be waiting for that. Windies, they normally love what here? They normally love Excel. So somebody now will come and ask you, how about Bayan? So I'll simply come here, anywhere in that. Come there, say Bayan, like that. Enter. Gives you all the information correctly. Germany, yes, 3490. Bayan is here. You can see Germany, yes, 3490. If somebody comes and tells me, for example, Liverpool, I can even pick it from there. I'll come and simply say, oh, Liverpool. Right? You say enter. It's telling me that Liverpool is an English team. No, 3884. Like that. Like that. Great, 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 great. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to really end there. And of course, I have this video converted, and then I put it in Vimeo, and then of course share it with you immediately. You may say 30 minutes, not immediately, but 30 minutes. It must take some time to convert. Must take some time to convert. Must take some time to convert. When okay, that I should be able to address. What happens? Do you only do for 5? Yeah, we only have 5 columns, Danson. We don't have a 6th column. Danson, try counting. We don't have a 6th column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Right? Let me try to take a few questions from you. When I highlight, it's putting everything Italy. It's because, Brian Ngeno, you never went to jog around with a still a duplicate of Italy. There is no Chelsea. Yes, thank you very much. There is no Chelsea, hence not available. Not available. Thank you very much. Enjoyable. Excel is the best platform for any accountant. And even when I teach these things like this, you may not know how useful they are until I start showing you now how they're applicable in the financial statements. So it's important that you repeat this. What happens when a team is repeated in more than once in the original table? In the original table. So a good question here, in this original table, if you had, for example, like now we have here Bayan again, so long as it has got the same, so long as it has got the same, everything is the same. Like it tells you Bayan, it will still pick the right information. It will pick the right information. But if you confuse it by giving it Bayan and then you give it different illustrations, of course, it will give you an error. Give you an error when you're searching. Okay. Why I'm still getting it. Let me help my friend Silvanus here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Silvanus, you're getting, let me just delete this from here now. So that Silvanus doesn't go sleeping. Disappointed. You know, Silvanus, what you did, you came and copied this nicely up to there, which was very okay, right? But you forgot that, you know, VLOOKUP, unlike index match, VLOOKUP is dependent on the columns. So like this column here, Italy, for country is very okay because country is column 2. That's very okay. But when I go to the next column, this is column number 3. Is it column 2 there? So I'm supposed to come there and replace that with 3. I say enter, you'll be able to see things changing here. The same case, I'll go there and say 4 now. This time around, we're talking about 4. At the same time, I'll come here, I'll come there and say 5. Come there, say 5, like that. And ladies and gentlemen, now, I hope Silvanus, you've been able to repeat that. It's about really working around with what here with columns. You're not very far away. I'm okay. Yeah, you can include if error function to do away with. Yes, Ellen happens to be knowing these things. This colleague called Ellen perhaps has been my student before. How do you know where to lock the cells? So SK, what I would recommend is that you watch this video fully, if possible tonight, and then we'll be able to organize another session where I'm going to explain that concept again. Right. So otherwise, it has been a pleasure. Wycliffe is all happy. I like even the choice of his clothes color. Very nice. Yeah, he's an Excel master. Very good. It's all about being happy, and try to show even your workmates tomorrow. You can't say that you're good in Excel before you show others. You must ensure, for example, even tonight, you show your spouse. If you have, in this case here, some boy there or girl there who has cleared maybe high school, or even they're in high school, see, those are very good candidates you can teach. Excel, you must teach. If you're not able to teach anybody, then trust you me, then you're not understood any concept at all. You must teach somebody as you celebrate your milestones. You must teach somebody as you celebrate your milestones. That is very important to me. And please, this number that we got is good, but we should be able to get more. I know Excel has issues out there. It's only that students of CPA are not very well mentored. They don't know the importance of Excel. So please, I would still send you to get out of your way and ensure that you are able to invite so many of your friends. They haven't lost this lesson. We shall be able to give them a video for the first lesson. We need to work together in this. The other thing I've seen, because now the number is very big, I've seen and noticed that it's very hard even for me to control the crowd. Very hard for me to control the crowd. Am I saying that we should subdivide ourselves? No. What I'll do, like tomorrow, I'll send a video of the concept we shall be covering very early. Like I can send it tomorrow by 9 a.m. Short video, 20 minutes. Please ensure that you go through that video before you come to tomorrow's 7 p.m. class. So that at least with that video, you will have mastered a few things here and there. So that when you come to the 7 p.m. class, really, it should be about you sharing your screen, me giving you a few exercises here and there. That approach will be able to work because this number is a little bit bigger, and we need that notwithstanding to make the classes much better. Thank you. Bithi is asking a very good question there. So tomorrow, are we still paying another 500? This Bithi should be investigated. And Bithi, you need to send EACC to you. You must be a very rich person. The 500 you paid covers the entire program up to Friday, up to you getting certificates. Yes, the only thing I expect you to do is to get out of your way to ensure that you bring more. I can be expect to see you bring many students here. All your colleagues. How much is Excel out there being charged? There must be somebody here who did Excel with 70,000 shillings. And because you are taught by people who are not accountants, I'm so sure you forgot that thing immediately. You see, Victor says 100,000. And those guys will teach you things which are not applicable, in the world of finance. At least for me, I know because I'm an accountant and I know the things I use every other day. I know you guys should be able to know how to compute NPV. I'll be able to show you how to compute NPV. You need to know how to come up with an income statement, a balance sheet, etc. So I'll be able to show you practical things. And of course, for certificates, of course, Kenya, you know how the Kenyan system works. We'll need to come over and pick the certificates. Yes. The other thing, the students that I would want to mentor, I don't know whether here there is any student who is working in an insurance company. Is there any student who could be working for an insurance company? You know, now we have what we call IFRS 17, which will be coming up in 2023. It's a big thing out here. So I'm coming up with an Excel model of IFRS 17, I mean. Is there anybody here who is working for an insurance company and would be interested to get to some class I'll be having free of charge on Thursday? Thursday at 2 p.m. NGOs, not at the moment. At the moment, what I'm modeling IFRS 9, IFRS 17. I'm also modeling the group accounts. If you guys are working for group of companies and you're interested, schools will be able to use this normal Excel. The one I'm teaching you will be very, I'm talking of, for example, like IFRS 17, the concept of insurance, right? For example, there are those premiums that must be discounted. How do you move from there? Microfinance, yes, that's for IFRS 9. Microfinance is for IFRS 9. Public sector, the Excel that we have here will be able to sort you out completely. If you're working for a bank that has got bank assurance section, then you are a very good candidate I'm looking for. I'll be able to share some link with you, and then you sign up for that particular course. A company with branches, the normal Excel we are dealing here with will be able to sort you out, not unless it's a company with subsidiaries. A company with subsidiaries. Which areas are we to cover in this training? Of course, we shall be looking at the pivot tables. Like tomorrow, I'll be looking at the pivot table. I'll send you a video very early, 6 minutes video on pivot tables. We're going to cover the sum ifs function. Coca-Cola, you need to join. I don't know whether you guys are dealing with any. We'll have to discuss that later. School, this Excel I'm teaching you will be more than enough. More than enough, yes. More than enough. Great. So thank you very much. Let me share with you this video. Good night. Bye-bye. Don't forget to market Mwalimu in matters of Excel. This Mwalimu is good in Excel. Thank you. Yes. You can call me Jeremiah, even now, not even tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.